Eternal Sailor Moon. Playstyle, balanced. Difficulty level, 5 out of 10. Fun value, 4 out of 5 Moon Tiaras. Eternal Sailor Moon has 3 main strengths. Her first is that she has 3 different projectiles, 1 for each level of the field. Luna costs no energy to use and also inflicts damage and a knockback. And she generally has the most balanced kit in the game, which means just about anybody can find a way to be good with her. Her weaknesses are that her A-B ability is stationary, which sometimes leaves her vulnerable, so you want to be careful when using that. Sometimes the downed and A plus B ability will jump you over the target, which leaves you open for an immediate back attack. And finally, knowing when to use each projectile is key when playing Sailor Moon. This can be a little bit challenging, especially when it comes to Moon Princess Halation, because you need to know your enemy pretty well and pay attention to what level of the field they spend the most time on. Eternal Sailor Moon is best countered by Sailor Mars. The sheer firepower and speed of Mars attacks just tend to leave Sailor Moon in the dust, especially if you play her aggressively. This, combined with Sailor Moon's AI tendency to jump around a lot, gives you plenty of opportunity to land some good flame heal kicks. Additionally, Fire Soul's spiral pattern often causes it to bypass many of Moon's projectiles, still connecting for damage. And if that's not working, Mars Flame Sniper's special effect is that it cuts through all projectiles anyway. Sailor Venus is another good option when you're stuck against Sailor Moon. They both have their cats as sidekicks here, and you can use Artemis to knock Sailor Moon down just like she tries to do to you. Also, the 2 cats, when they bump in the middle, if you use them at the same time, they sort of boop noses and blush, and it's pretty cute, so you want to do that. Also, after you knock her down with Artemis, you can unleash a barrage of crescent beams, and that's usually all you really need. Use Rising Crescent Assault if she jumps towards you, but otherwise it's a pretty simple deal. Sailor Saturn. Saturn is probably the best and easiest counter to Sailor Moon if you're having trouble with her. The sheer force of her attacks help the most, but the real kiss of death is her Silent Glaive Surprise, the down and A plus B ability. When you land this correctly from an incoming aerial attack, you can get up to, I believe, 5 hits from it, and each hit does substantial damage. Additionally, you can use Doom Void when she's getting too in your face to do some damage and send her away from you, followed up with a few projectiles, and there you go. Eternal Sailor Moon has a very versatile kit and several ways to block or dodge incoming attacks. This means with some practice, as we said before, just about anyone can find a way to be good with her, and the fact that you have so much versatility with her projectiles means that if played well, she can counter other characters in most situations. I would say her toughest opponent typically would be Sailor Mars or Sailor Saturn. The one thing you want to be careful of when using Sailor Moon is spamming her abilities, because she does have so many. It's easy to drain her energy, so try to avoid using the heavier energy cost skills and favor Luna instead, because remember, Luna doesn't cost anything. Eternal Sailor Moon's kit. Moon Twirl, A plus B. This is a stationary spin attack, and it's best used when the enemy is too close and you need to get them away from you, or if you just need a moment to regroup. Usually this low energy attack can cause the enemy to defend for a couple seconds and let you regroup. Moon, Twirl, Jump. Down and A plus B. This is a multi-hit counter to incoming aerial attacks. I believe it can hit between 1 and 3 times. When it comes to this type of attack, this one is pretty average. It can do good damage if you get the multi-hit, but it's sort of tough to time it correctly for that. So use it when you need it, but I wouldn't waste much energy on it otherwise. Moon Tiara Action. forward and A+B. This is a mid-level straight-line projectile that travels at a medium speed and deals moderate damage. This combined with Luna will be your bread and butter on Sailor Moon, and that brings us to Moon Princess Halation, down and backward, and A+B. This is a high level, meaning low, middle, high positioning on the field, straight line projectile. It travels at a high speed and deals moderately high damage. And unfortunately, Moon Princess Halation is fairly easy to dodge. Because it's so high and it travels in a straight line, characters like Chibi Moon are naturally below its path, so they don't even have to duck to dodge it. And any other character just has to press down and not move while it travels above their head, and that's it. It does have its moments, though. If you can land it undefended, it deals the most damage out of all of her abilities. And if the enemy tends to be up in the sky or is bouncing around too much, it's a great way to sort of knock them back down and get a good hit in as well. Luna. Down plus forward and A+B. This is a floor level projectile attack, dealing low damage and inflicting a knockback. It consumes 0 energy to use this ability, as we mentioned earlier. Luna seems like almost a novelty at first when you start playing this game, and then as you keep going and you do the more difficult battles, you start to realize that she is the most useful ability in Eternal Sailor Moon's kit. The reason for this is that it takes no energy to use her, and for some reason, when you're fighting even against the strongest level AI, they tend not to defend against this attack. So it's a very good way to get in easy knockdowns and set up for whatever type of combo you want to do after that. Alright, that concludes our Eternal Sailor Moon first look and kit guide. We will be doing more in-depth looks at each character when we go through the survival guide for this game, but this should be the basics. Anyone who's just jumping in and wants to know how to play the character, how to do each combo, what each combo is used for, stuff like that, this should be really all you need to start mastering Eternal Sailor Moon in Super Moon Fighter DX. Alright, stay tuned. Sailor Mercury's up next.
愛と正義のセーラー服美少女戦士セーラームーン